Well, hello there, Skywinders. Welcome back to another episode of Skywind007. This is the Airpot that I got from Amazon. It's the brand name Cresimo. Cresimo or Cresimo, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's made of stainless steel and it holds 3 liters or 101 fluid ounces. It should say fluid ounces and not ounces. And it claims to hold the heat the hot for 12 hours and the cold for 24 hours. And on the Amazon listing, it did say 24 hours for hot and 24 hours for cold. So I got tricked, not by this brand or company, but by the Amazon seller. But it's okay. We're gonna do a test and we're gonna see how it performs anyway. And I am gonna be comparing it to another thermo that I have. So this is it right here. And I'll compare it to this. And I know this is not a fair comparison because this one has a tight lid and this one has a spout that's always open. And of course, this one's not going to perform as well as this one. But if you're interested in preserving heat, this is the one to go. I'm just getting ahead of myself. This is a 2-liter thermo and this is a 3-liter Airpot. So even though they look the same, this one holds a lot more. And like I said, I'm comparing apples to oranges, so this is not a fair comparison. So before we go and heat some water, I do want to talk a little bit about the problems that I've been having with this one. I shouldn't say problems, but the little issues that I have with this. The main one being this every time I drop it, it slams into the metal body. So it's very annoying and probably could damage it over time because this is metal. So I wish they would have put some rubber here. I'm probably going to put some electrical tape later on. So that's been my main complaint. The handle is actually very helpful. And it does pivot around like this. And let's look in here before we go to the kitchen. Oh, I did that again. This is where you pull this up like this and then you press and it's gonna pour water. I'm not gonna do it right now because I don't want to get this wet, but we're gonna do that eventually. You press these 2 buttons and this opens. As you can see, I've been using this before. And then you got this. So this pipe right here is metal. So rest assured, whatever's going to be touching the hot water in particular is going to be a metallic surface like this, and the interior metal. So it's all metal. So that was one of my biggest concerns. If you're going to put boiling water in there, is it going to be touching plastic? And the answer is no, it's going to be touching metal. Eventually you're going to pour out the hot water through here and it is going to touch plastic briefly for a few seconds and that's it. But it's not going to be touching metal for 12 hours. So that's good to know. Another thing you need to know if you already own one of these, and that I've noticed that if you accidentally don't pull this all the way up and it just engages like this. Let me zoom in. If you don't pull it all the way up like that and it just engages like this, it's not going to properly flow the water or whatever liquid's in there. You're going to think it's broken, it's failing, and you're probably going to send it back. Please don't. Just make sure it clicks all the way to the back. And that's it. Okay, so now I think it's time to go to the kitchen. Oh, before we go, there's also a way to take this out. This can be taken out. Let me put the camera down. And there you have it. So if you need to take that off for cleaning, you can. So let's put it back. To put it back, you just do this. I'm doing it single-handed, so it's kind of hard. There we go. And there you have it. Okay, so now let's go to the kitchen and let's heat up some water. Okay, so it has been 13 hours and 38 minutes. So let's test it. So I got my thermometer here. I know you can't read it, so I'm gonna read it for you. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. And let's pour some water. Well, you can see it steaming. You might be able to see it. It's steaming. And the temperature is okay, so it's 140. 145. So let me just touch it. Yeah, it works. Steaming. You can still see the steam. So I guess the steam says a lot more than the temperature. So that's a good sign. So I think this is working out. So the most you need is 12 hours because you're going to be doing this every morning and it should last for the whole day. And it's been 13 hours and 40 minutes so far. Okay, so just for reference, I filled this one up with the same amount of temperature water, boiling water, and it's been the same amount of time since the other one. So we're gonna see if there's any difference. So here's our cup, same thermometer. Thermometer has cooled down. So again, over 13 hours. Let's fill it up. And you're gonna have to trust me on this. Okay, so it's doing 155 and the Cresimo was doing 145. So this one is definitely doing better. But of course you can't really compare the two because it's like comparing apples to oranges. Okay, so it's been 25 hours. Let's see, 25 hours and 45 minutes. So let's see what kind of heat we get from this. So that's 125, I believe. So I don't see any steam. Yeah, there's no more steam. Okay, so I said I was gonna add some tape to this. This is electrical tape. Okay, so I added the tape, as you can see over here, but it's still making the sound even with the tape. So let me try something else. Let me get rid of this tape. Okay, so I got rid of the tape, and instead of tape I used the sticky pads right here. You can see it there and you can see it here. So now every time I drop it, that sounds a lot better. Way better than that bell sound. And since it is a sticky pad, if you tilt it, it's not gonna swing. It's not gonna swing like that. Once it catches, it stays stuck. And same thing on the other side. Yeah. So don't use electrical tape. That was a bad idea. Okay, folks, so we have reached the end of this review, and I want to be fair. This is very good. It's not perfect. It's not as good as this one. This one keeps the heat and cold a lot longer than this one, but that's mainly because this one's a completely different design. It has a very tight lid that keeps the temperature in there for longer. This one, because it has the pouring system and the valve and the button over here and everything, there's no way the designers could have made it to the point that it would perform like this one. So this is not a fair comparison. This is comparing apples to oranges. But if you set this aside and you leave it alone, I am happy with it. I like 3 liters. That's the minimum for me. 3 liters. I wouldn't go for less. So for the most part, everything's the same. They could have improved it. Yes, they could. They should have added a handle, like a rubber handle. So every time it drops like that, it doesn't create that bell sound. So I did this addition right here, but it doesn't look very professional. You can tell that's an aftermarket thing. It works, but that is probably my biggest complaint about this. So I am happy with the swivel, and I'm happy with the name Cresimo, because if you look on Amazon, you're gonna see all these different brands, and some of them have these dumb names like Kumpak, Huangsung, Shunsang, and I don't know where they come up with those names. But Cresimo sounds like a professional company. That's it. I don't have any more complaints, but overall I'm happy, and that's it for now. So thank you for watching. Subscribe and thumbs up.